chapter 18, verses 1 to 8. Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. He said, "In a certain town, there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared what people thought. And there was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with the plea, 'Grant me justice against my adversary.' For some time he refused, but finally he said to himself, 'Even though I don't fear God or care what people think, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice, so that she won't eventually come and attack me.' And the Lord said, 'Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God bring about justice for his chosen ones, who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will see that they get justice, and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth?'"
Respected Achin and my fellow youth members, have you ever found yourself facing a situation where it seemed like everyone and everything was against you? Maybe you desperately needed help, but it seemed like nobody was listening or willing to help. And in those moments, it's very easy to feel discouraged and disheartened. And it's precisely in those moments where this parable of the persistent widow speaks volumes. So here, Jesus is telling his disciples about a parable of a judge who doesn't have particularly good qualities that we would want a good judge to have. You see, he wasn't a particularly pleasant person. He neither feared God or cared about people. Jesus then goes on to say that there was a widow who would come relentlessly before this judge, pleading her case in court. For some time, the judge didn't pay any attention to her, and in fact, he totally ignored her. We can guess why, of course. The judge simply didn't care about people, and as a widow, she wasn't really in a position of importance. However, after some time, the widow bothers the judge so much, pleading for justice, that the judge simply gives in and grants the widow exactly what she wants. He says, "Even though I do not fear God or care about people, I'm going to give this widow what she wants because she's constantly bothering me." So what was Jesus trying to tell his disciples? What is he trying to tell us? Is he telling us that God is an unfair, grumpy judge? Is he telling us that God gets annoyed and agitated when we constantly come to him with our issues? No, of course not. In fact, Jesus is telling us our God is quite the opposite of this judge. Jesus tells his disciples, if this unjust judge, who doesn't care about his people and showed no compassion to this woman, eventually granted her justice purely because of her dedication, do you not think that our just and righteous God would of course bring justice to his chosen people? See, Jesus refers to us as the chosen ones, emphasizing our importance to God. The use of the widow as a character in this parable is significant because, culturally speaking, back in the day, women, let alone widows, weren't in a position of power or in a position to stand up for themselves in that society. So if the judge gave justice to somebody that he didn't care about, surely God, who cares and loves for us so deeply, will grant us our requests. So what does this mean for us? See, in this parable, Jesus is teaching us about the importance of persistency in prayer. It means that no matter how daunting our circumstances may seem, we should never underestimate the power of persistent prayer. Just as the widow's persistence moved the heart of an unjust judge, our persistence in prayer can of course move the heart of our loving God. See, God delights in hearing the prayers of his children, our prayers. He invites us to speak to him with courage and faith, knowing that he will not only hear us, but he'll also answer us when the time is right. But you can only have persistency if you have faith that it will pay off. In St. Mark chapter 11, verses 24, it says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, Believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. See, the Bible has shown us time and time again that persistency pays off. If we remember the story where Jacob literally wrestled with God all night, we can see the significance of persistency and determination. Jacob wouldn't let go of God until he got a blessing. And it teaches us about persistence in prayer and in seeking blessings. And as a result of his persistency, God blessed Jacob abundantly. Jesus ends the parable saying, "When the Son of Man returns, will he find faith on the earth?" So the question is, do we as a society have sufficient faith? So to conclude my reflection, let's take heart from the example of the persistent widow. Let's be unwavering in our faith, steadfast in our prayers, and confident in the goodness of our God. Then we will surely see his goodness displayed in our lives at all times. May God bless us. Thank you.